So one of my all-time favorite lawn activities to do pretty much every year is dethatching or scarifying, which is a little bit more aggressive. And I love to do it on my front yard. It's just so satisfying and crazy how much material accumulates and that you can pull out of a lawn every single year. Well, this year I'm not gonna do it. Here's why. Here we go. Now, like anything, there's a time and a place for dethatching, and there are some really great benefits to it. It does open up the canopy of the grass. It gets rid of dead or otherwise unnecessary material, thins things out a little bit, makes way for fertilizer and water to get down into the soil, and actually feels better to walk on a lawn right after it's been dethatched. So that's many reasons why, and I've said this before, that I love to dethatch the lawn and why I've done it pretty much annually over the last few years. So here I am now telling you I'm not going to do it, and you're wondering why. Well, let's not waste any more time and get right down to it. There's one major reason, something that I've noticed over the last couple of years that is more of a negative thing, and I more or less want to experiment and see if not dethatching fixes this problem. And the problem is this. Over the last couple of years, I've noticed in my front yard a significant increase in the weed population. As I'm mowing, as I'm walking around, hanging out in the front yard, I'm spending a lot of time out here, and I see a lot more weeds than normal. And I do a pretty good job. I mow 2, sometimes 3 times a week, and the grass spreads and gets really thick. But when you're giving any kind of room for weeds to invade or give them any space by dethatching or scarifying, they're gonna take that opportunity and seize it. So I think that's the problem. So I'm gonna just experiment, like I said, and see how it goes and go from there. Now, I don't have any raw data to really support my experiment here. I just have my own opinions and observations. I know how many weeds I'm spraying, more or less, and not an exact number, of course, but I'll be able to tell if there's been a significant decrease in the weed pressure that I'm seeing this year compared to last year. And I might do this for a couple of years and see how it goes. Of course, I'll report back. If you're not subscribed to the channel, let me give you a reason to subscribe, see how the experiment goes. That, among plenty of other projects we've got going on around here, lots of fun things happening. It's gonna be a busy year and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you're considering the idea of dethatching or scarifying your lawn, I would offer this advice. Number 1, when was the last time you did it? Has it been a year? Has it been 5 years? Have you never done it before? If you've never done it before, I would go ahead and recommend doing it, but I wouldn't recommend doing it on an annual cadence or a twice a year cadence. I would recommend going off of the actual thatch layer in your grass. And what I like to tell people is to actually dig down into the canopy of your grass and see if it's difficult to find the soil. If it's difficult for you to find the soil and get through that thatch material, it's gonna be difficult for water and fertilizer and air, all the things, to get down there too. And we probably need to take some time to get rid of some of it. Another thing to keep in mind too is that dethatching isn't really necessary for all grass types. I have Kentucky bluegrass. I think every now and then you should do it. If you have St. Augustine grass or Bermuda grass, you live down south, if you even have tall fescue, you don't need to do it. At least in my opinion, I don't believe you need to do it. So there you go. That's the experiment for this year. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna skip the dethatching. And yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's always so tempting. It's so much fun. I enjoy it. Like I said at the beginning, I think this is one of the most satisfying things you can do with your lawn, other than mowing. So will be a interesting experiment, I think, and hopefully we can keep the weed pressure down, and that will be worth it for me. And we'll try and get onto a cadence of maybe every couple of years, 2-3 years or so. We'll see. Stay tuned. Hope that's helpful. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.